Hey guys, Zero here. Today I'm playing The Will 2, The Castle, written by Ambrosine. It's a short point-and-click adventure game with a really simple objective. Find the 10 gems hidden in your late aunt's castle, and return them to their proper place to inherit a fortune. This is a game that I played several years ago when I was first getting into adventure games. If you're wondering why I'm playing this, there are a few reasons. Number 1, I've been fooling around with an audio program called Audacity to see if I can reduce the white noise from my LPs. Some of them haven't been affected too badly by it, but I'd like to see if I can improve future ones, even just a little. Number 2, I wanted to test something short and simple that I could easily fit into one video. And number 3, the other game I was originally going to play was being a little bitch and wouldn't record properly, so I switched to this one instead. Like I said before, this is mostly just a test for Audacity, so don't expect much. I tested one of my older videos, and it worked out pretty well. The only thing I noticed was that along with greatly reducing the white noise, it also warped my voice ever so slightly. It was negligible, but I did notice it. So if this test doesn't work out in the end, I'll probably upload this video anyway so you can hear my failure. Anyways, let's hurry up and get started already. And for whatever reason, the game designer decided not to put music in, so I'm gonna put some music of my own on. And the game's real simple. You can see the description of whatever room you're in right down here, as well as any objects that you can interact with. So you can look at the bridge, and of course you can't interact with the bridge, but you right click to interact with anything. Like this rope hanging from the tree here, if you right click it, you pick it up. And over here we've got a leafless branch, but if you try to pick it up, it says you can't break the branch with your bare hands, because apparently our character is weak as shit. So we have to leave it for now. Coming into the courtyard here, we can see this fountain, but it's dry, and we don't have a way to turn it on, at least not yet. But we've got this shovel over here, so you pick that shit up. And we're going to use it immediately over here in your aunt's once envied garden. You can look at the flowers, look at the soil. You run your hands through it, find nothing, so instead, you take your shovel to it. You dig that shit up. You dig and dig and dig until all the flowers are gone. And inside, underneath, you'll find a sack. And you open the sack, and you find the first gem. So you pick that up. And as well as this rubber band that popped off from the sack, you can pick that up, so obviously you need it for something. So coming back over here, you come into the armory, and you loot this old suit of armor, which is standing guard over diddly squat. You got nothing in here. And you search it, but you find nothing but rust. And all we've got here is this shitty broken bow lying on the floor. I mean, I actually can shoot a bow, but I can't shoot a broken one, especially one that crumbles to dust when you try to pick it up. So all we get from it is this strand of catgut. So coming up to the top of the tower here, we find this wrench sitting here, so we pick that up. And this solid brass ring, but we can't budge it. But what we can do is select the rope, and then right click to use it on the ring, and now we can climb down it. So we climb down, and down below is a single gem. Pick that up, and that's all that's there. And what's funny is that you can actually take the rope back even though it's not used anywhere else in the game. So I usually just leave it behind. So we leave there, and we move further into the entrance, and you can see on the wall here on the left, we've got this family crest, a griffin, but we can't move it or pry it loose, so we can't do anything with that yet. Same for the flag over here. You can examine it, but you do notice that it feels hard and thick in the middle. That's what she said. Anyways, coming into this room here, you can see that it's famous for its 12-foot high ceiling. Big friggity whoop. I've seen bigger ceilings than that. But the only thing of importance here is the chandelier, but you can't reach it, obviously, because it is up 12 feet. And so we come over here into the library. So you see this ladder here. So you probably think you can take the ladder, but before we take that, you notice that up top these books here, there's something shiny. It's kind of hard to see, it's really small, but there is a gem right there. But we can't just simply grab it. We have to actually climb up the ladder, grab it, and then come back down. And so now we can take the ladder with us. And you can also look at this overstuffed chair here, and you search it and you find a key. Coming back out here, so you would think to try the ladder to reach the chandelier, but the ladder is only 6 feet long and the ceiling is 12 feet high. Apparently our character is really short too, so we can't do that yet. coming into the banquet hall where many feasts were once held. You can see that the only thing of interest is this sword on the wall, because apparently your aunt kept it there so that when she was eating, if she was interrupted, she would cut their head off. So we take the sword, and coming into the kitchen, you see this dull butter knife on the shelf, so we take that. And looking into this mouse hole, somehow the mice ate through the bottom of the stove. I do not want to run into a mouse that can do that shit. So you try to look underneath, but you can see there's something there, but you can't reach it. If you try to take something like the sword, all it does is push the object further away. It doesn't really, though. You can do it as many times as you want. Nothing actually happens. It just means that you can't reach it right now. So we check the trash can in the corner, and we find a discarded can of cooking oil, because apparently nobody knows how to properly discard used oil. So coming down into the cellar, we find an axe, which I'm sure you can guess what that's for. So we take that. And we find the pipes, which are obviously connected to the fountain outside. But we try to turn it and we can't do it with our bare hands. So of course you use the wrench. But the wrench is just a tad too big to fit on the valve tightly. Actually, wait a minute. It says value. Huh. Spelled that wrong. Anyways, I just noticed that. So you use the rubber band on the pipes, and now you can turn it with the wrench. And you can hear the water flowing now. So we'll go back outside and look at the fountain, and sure enough, it's on. And we have the next gem. And while we're here, this was probably the second to last or last gem I ever got. For some reason I didn't think to check back here. The clue is that the armor is rusty. So we use the oil on the armor, and we find that a gem falls out. So we pick that up. And while we're here, we'll come back outside, and remember this branch here. Remember that it said that it was a sharp sword. Well, apparently sharp swords can't cut shit in this game. So we have to use the axe. Cut down the branch, and we've got the branch to take it with us. Honestly, just break it off. Alright, so still can't do anything in the hall, so we're ready to move upstairs. And we got a couple of rooms to check. We'll go over here into the boys' room. The only thing of interest is the violin under the bed. So we take that, and to use items on yourself, you double right-click on the item. We can't play the violin, though, because it doesn't have any strings, but that's what the catgut is for. So we combine it with the violin, and if we play it, it makes this terrible grating noise, but it doesn't seem to do anything but make your teeth rattle. So obviously we gotta use that elsewhere. So we'll go into the room on the right here, the girl's bedroom, and we find this lone stick of gum on the shelf. Why a single piece, I don't know. But we use it on ourselves, and it turns into chewed gum rather. And we can look at this drawing on the wall. You see a drawing of an old child's toy, kind of an early Tickle Me Elmo. Well, that's a really freaky Tickle Me Elmo if you ask me, so I'd rather stick with the original. And even then, you know what, fuck that. So, nothing else in this room. Coming into the master bedroom, we've got the bed over here, you check the pillow, and out pops a feather, which may not be obvious what to do with that just yet. And you can see this picture here, which is actually of the entrance where we started the game. I always used to think that we would somehow magically go into the picture and be back out the entrance somehow or something, but nope, it's just a painting. But if you inspect it, you'll see that there's a latch of some kind, but you can't get your finger on it. But we use this knife to wedge it open, and inside we find a locked box, which obviously we use the key for. So now we've got 6 gems. And the last thing inside here is the jewel box, but it's closed. It's also stuck to the chest. And even if you try to take a sword to it, there's no lock, hatch, or latch, or hinges, and it's made of an indestructible material. Kinda like those black boxes for airplanes, I guess. So we can't open that until we get all 10 gems. But the last thing out here is the floorboard. You'll notice that it seems loose. We can't move it with our bare hands because remember, we're weak as shit in this game. So that's what the sword is for. You use it to pry open the floorboard. But we can't jump down because it's a little too far because we're pussies. So it says we can't reach it, but that's what the ladder is for. So we use that, and now we can climb down safely. And inside, all we have is the single gem. So we pick that up and climb back out. We can actually pull the ladder back out, but it's not needed anymore, so we'll just leave it behind. And now we got over here, back in the kitchen, we can actually combine this gum with the branch. Combine. So now the gum is stuck at the end, so we can use that to reach into the mouse hole. And so we get the 8th gem. And coming back over here to the entrance, now if you inspect the griffin, you can see that it looks like it's kind of breathing fire. So if you take the feather to it, burn, burn, it lets out a fiery sneeze, and it reveals the gem hidden behind here. And now there's just 1 gem left, which for some reason I'm blanking out on. What is the last? Oh, duh. Yes, into this room here. The thing with the chandelier. The delicate glass chandelier is the hint, so if you use the violin, since we can't reach it, we just shake the chandelier instead and make it drop the gem. I think that was probably the last one I got when I first played. But, so we've got all 10 gems now, and so we're ready to finish. But I'm going to stop my music here, and just as a warning, the music at the end here is really loud, so you might want to turn down your volume some. And I'm going to close that because that's way too loud. And so you win and inherit the castle and $1 million. Big whoop. I mean, I'm sure the castle is worth a lot, but only $1 million? Well, I guess that would be a lot for someone like me. Still, tack on some zeros to that number. Anyways, that's it. Like I said, this is a really short game, and it's mostly just a test. This is also probably going to be the first video where I make use of the new 15-minute time limit for YouTube. If you'd like to do me a favor, please leave a comment about the audio quality. How did it sound? Could you hear any white noise? Did my voice sound any different? Etc. Thanks. I'm still trying to find the best settings, but if this works out, I might be able to use it for future LPs. I plan on starting a more normal LP soon, at least as normal as it gets for me. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.